This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. All very good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to present a session on C4C. It's just a minute. Okay. So can you first of all, can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes,
Hello.
Bhami. Yes, Bhami, we can
Yeah,
see.
you can see screen. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So uh, today our agenda is I'll take you through SAP C4C introduction. We'll let you know about benefits of C4C. We'll take you through an objective of C4C. Then how Sales Cloud implementation approach. Then I'll take you through an organizer structure, campaign management, how it works in SAP C4C sales, master data, that is accounts and products, how the transaction processing take place, and I'll take you to the business process walkthrough, that is to be process, and then system walkthrough. I'll show you the C4C system, how it look like, and how the Fury after an upgrade in the month of November it looks like. So I'll show you that, and the dashboards which is created, which is standard out of the box functionality in C4C. So I'll show you the screenshot of that, which I have done in my previous projects. Okay, so coming to an introduction part, in C4C here you can see a 3 cloud icon and an URL mentioned above with a 6-digit unique identification number. Okay, so this 6-digit unique identification number along with an URL, it is called as a tenant in C4C. Okay, so any URL, whenever we launch it in any browser, irrespective of whatever browser it is, like Chrome or something, you can launch in any browser, and this URL is called as a tenant in C4C. So here the functionality given is SPN bicycle subscription. What does it mean? So whenever we a client request for a tenant, okay, so SAP provide a test tenant, that is test URL, along with a production tenant, that is production URL. And SAP always charge for a test tenant or a production tenant. That is what I mean to say, SAP only charge for one tenant, and other tenant SAP gives for free. They don't charge for any for second tenant. Okay, there is one more icon you can see, permanent test tenant. Separate URL is mentioned. Why it is mentioned as a permanent test tenant? Because whenever clients subscribe for a third tenant, they need to pay additional charges for that test tenant. Now the question comes, why these 3 tenants is required? Normally what happens in the scenario, whenever there is a backend system where either it may be an ECC system or CRM system or S4HANA system, whatever it may be, there is a landscape of a development system, of a test system, and then a production system. So what happens, as SAP provide 2 tenant, that is test tenant and production tenant, SAP best practices recommend test tenant should be integrated with a quality server and production tenant should be integrated with a production server. Now client want the third tenant, which should be integrated with a development server, so that the system will be in sync. Okay, so for requesting a third tenant, that is a test tenant, for integration to a development server, client request additional request to SAP, for which SAP provide a third tenant, but it charge for the third tenant. Charge in the sense, they charge in terms of number of licenses. So this is what a subscription for this tenants. Any questions to this slide, guys? Anybody?
No.
Shall I proceed further? If you say yes, I'll proceed further.
Yes, please.
Okay. Now here you see an arrow with a dotted line and above that a month mentioned. What does it mean? Here as C4C is a cloud tenant. Okay, it's a cloud application. It's a lightweight application. So though it is in cloud, the upgradation happens every quarter in a year. Okay, so SAP has a fixed quarter in a year where the upgradation happens. So the month of Feb, the upgradation happens normally in the month of Feb, the month of May, month of August, and month of November. So every quarterly, they bring a new releases, they bring a hot fixes, they bring a bug fixes. There has some challenges which has been raised in an idea forum of SAP. From that idea forum, if there are number of votes been remarked as in an idea forum, SAP launches those ideas in C4C in a new releases. So before releasing this, SAP sent to client a presentation about the subject knowing as a what's new. Okay, so every quarterly this send a client this email and mention the feature what is going to get upgraded in the next release or current release. So this is what happens regularly in every quarter. Now what happens? You can see in the below it is mentioned 2 weeks after test tenant. What does it mean? Whenever SAP upgrade the tenant, okay, whenever SAP upgrade the tenant, SAP first upgrade test tenant and then SAP upgrade a production tenant. So test tenant, why it is upgrading test tenant? Because there's a test data. SAP upgrade first test tenant and suggest that after upgradation of a tenant, a customer should test the scenarios, overall scenarios, if those scenarios having any dependency on the functionality which has been upgraded or added to a current release. So SAP suggests to test those scenario, and if there is any bug or any discrepancy happens or any functionality bit disturbed by an upgradation, client can raise an incident and SAP will solve those incidents within 24/7 on very high priority. So this is what SAP give 2 weeks time to do these activities. Normally it doesn't impact any of the internal feature. Sometimes if there is any impact, SAP will raise an alarm by sending an email to the client that these are the process which has been impacted, kindly rectify it. Okay, so they will mention the issue and the solution when they send an warning email to a customer. But normally it doesn't happen as such. But SAP, for a precautionary measure, tells whenever this upgradation happens, just as the scenario which is having a dependency on a new functionality which has been added in a current release. Now after 2 weeks, if there is no incident raised or if there is if there is an incident raised and the solution been provided by SAP, after 2 weeks SAP upgrade a production tenant. Now this upgradation always takes on a weekend basis. Okay, weekend basis means to say that on Saturday or Sunday they used to upgrade this tenant. Now before, prior to that, there was, yeah, there is one more thing need to tell before going to this. If I'm talking about every Saturday Sunday weekend SAP is upgrading a tenant, the question comes, if there is an global upgradation in an global upgradation of a tenant, how it happens? Okay, because the time zones differ, the timing differ, the location differs. So how the upgradation happens on Saturday Sunday, if I'm talking about that. Now to explain clearly about this, I need to go to a next slide where there is a system house mentioned, where there is a data center of an SAP. Now what happens? SAP has 3 data centers throughout the world. That is, one data center is in Australia, second it is in US, and third it is in Denmark. There is a fourth data center that is specifically for a Chinese language, that is in China. So these data centers are controlled by a number of systems. The systems are controlled by a data centers. So data center is further divided into a number of systems. So you can see here, the icon you can see here, this is represented as a data center. And this, the CPU icon, you can see here, it is represented as a systems. And you can see another icon, the cloud icon, Econ Heating, Sunshine Limited, Sparky Supply. These are nothing but a tenant. So this is how the bifurcation happens. Data center is divided into number of systems, and each system has number of tenants. So whenever there is an upgrade happens on the system levels. So when there is an upgrade happen at the system level, automatically all the tenant within the system get upgraded. Now, if there is a US upgradation, so the data center in US upgrade for whole North America, North America and South America, as well as Canada and that region. If there is an Asia Pacific region, then there is an Australia data center which takes care of those. In entire Europe and Russia, it takes care by Denmark data center. So in this way, the bifurcation happens where the upgradation happens, and which happens every weekend and with a zero downtime. Okay, upgradation happens with a zero downtime. So this is what the feature of a C4C tenant and an upgradation. Any questions to this two slide, guys?
That's clear.
Clear? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. I'm moving to next slide. Yeah, there are the following benefits of using C4C management. There's a one key benefit of using SAP C4C is its operation expenditure cost and operation maintenance. Now, what does it mean? Take an example of an on-premise system. So whenever we install an on-premise system, we go for an on-premise system, we always require a server to be installed in a separate server room. Correct. And in every separate server room, you need to have proper lighting system, a proper air conditioning system. You need to have a basis consultant 24/7. You need to have a networking consultant 24/7. You need to have a backup every time. Every day you need to take a backup, and you need to have a server over there to be installed. And you need to also your location, the place where you install a server, the place is also get absorbed by that server which is installed. So these all cost to the company. Okay, these all cost to the company, and which is really very heavy, as well as additional to that, there is a maintenance cost involved to that. So which is really very which is very you can say it's very costly for the company. So that while installing C4C, when you take C4C, which is a cloud application, these all things you get rid of. Means no need to do any installation, nothing. Just you require a server. We need to launch in a browser, and we can start a system. But any maintenance, any activity to be done to that server is all SAP's responsibility. There is no responsibility to the company. Now, second point, you can take licenses as per your requirement, and it can be increased on demand. Now, this is a very important feature in C4C, which I have also experienced in multiple projects. What happens normally, whenever you go for a purchasing a license, you or maybe a client, when they go for a purchasing a license, SAP propose a license cost on number of users. Okay, so if you are having, assume you are having more than 100 users, so as a company purchase 100 licenses and at a time, and then they start an implementation projects. Okay, now what happens, which cost to the company? If you purchase 100 license, your billing start the day you get a license access. So when you get a license access to implement a system, it takes most probably 6 to 8 months. Normally, if you are standalone, if you are implementing C4C, it takes 3 to 4 months approximately, depending on the project, depending on the process requirement or a project size. Okay, so whenever you take that 100 licenses, your billing start from that, and assume 6 months, your 100 licenses has not been utilized. Hardly 10 to 15 licenses been utilized. That too for a consultant purpose, and that for an core people, or that for a end user purpose. Okay, who are the core person or super users? Now, but company need to pay for 100 licenses. Now there is a flexibility in C4C. If company is aware of, client is aware of, whenever you initially apply for a license, apply for approximately the number of licenses to be utilized during an implementation process. Assume there's a 10 to 15 license been requested. Now SAP charge only for that 10 to 15 license during that implementation period till go live. During a go live, customer can request further licenses. Assume if I am requesting a 100 license, I'm having a 15 license, I can request next 85 licenses during a go live, so that after a live, all 85 users will have access and the billing start from that day. So this is what another important feature, and it is mentioned here, it is increased on demand. Third point, SAP solution is managed by vendor, and all operational cost and maintenance is the vendor's responsibility. What does it mean? Here vendor means SAP. So this solution, SAP C4C solution, is managed by SAP, and any operational cost and maintenance is SAP's responsibility. So there is no responsibility on the shoulder of a client who is purchasing this. Only they need to have a URL along with an user ID and password. The fourth point talks about SAP C4C solution allows you to manage customer needs from anywhere with 7-layer security from cloud service provider. Now, what does it mean? When it comes to a cloud application, there are always a questions how secured it is. Normally in on-premise system, whenever we need to access an on-premise system apart from the company network, we use a VPN, which is a secured network which connect to the network of a company. But coming to a cloud application, how will it work? Because you can launch to any browser, you can use a user ID and password, and it can launch to any browser. But SAP assures that there is a 7-layer of security maintained, which is a very highly secured security layer. Simultaneously, if client want this to have a VPN like access, SAP provide two tool, which is called as an identity management tool, and second it is a single sign-on tool. So this tool can help in maintaining the identity of a customer on basis of when they log in. Simultaneously, in the identity management, you have an OTP provision. So whenever you log in, you will receive an OTP to your mobile, whichever mobile number you might have given, and putting an OTP, then only system will open. So this is what another security layer, which also replaces a VPN connection to this. Now the fifth point is you can access all customer information regardless where they are stored or available. So as it is a cloud application and you can use in any browser, so you can access the application which has been authorized to you from anywhere and any part of the world using your user ID and password or your credentials of a URL. So you can access any information whichever been you are authorized for. Now the another point is there is a seamless integration with SAP S4HANA, SAP ERP, SAP CRM, and other third-party cloud application. Now what happens? C4C is not restricted only with an integration with only SAP S4HANA, ERP, CRM, which is very seamless integration. There is no activity need to be done. But you can also integrate SAP C4C with any third-party cloud application in the world. Okay, you can integrate with any cloud application in the world. This is what a flexibility which SAP C4C provides. Now the last point is C4C is based on cloud and use secure and fast communication using web, mobile, supporting mobile platform iOS, Android and Windows devices, both online and offline mode. So what does it mean both online and offline mode? Now first thing I'll tell you, C4C is very user friendly for a cloud, for a mobile application. Though it is been in a Fury, so Fury is launched because it should work in a mobile. So it is a mobile friendly and it works in both iOS, Windows and Microsoft devices also. Now both online and offline feature, what does it mean? Now for example, when you open an on-premise system, assume it's a CRM system or an ECC system or as for HANA on-premise system, when you enter a transactions, okay, when you enter a transaction, you create, for example, you create a lead or you create a sales order, you enter a transaction and suddenly you enter around 50 fields. I'm talking you means it's an end user issue. If end user enters 50 fields, suddenly network connection goes. What happens to the system? Normally the data get lost, and whenever the network connection get established, again you need to enter the data in the sales order, which takes time, which also create dissatisfaction among the users. To rectify this, to overcome this, SAP comes with C4C as with an offline feature. What does it mean? Whenever you enter any transaction, assume you are entering 50 fields or 20 fields or whatever field number may be. If you're entering it, suddenly a network connection goes, then your data won't get lost. It will save in a draft mode. Assume you are accessing a Gmail and you have drafted an email and suddenly network connection goes, it will save in your draft mode. Similarly, it happens in C4C as well. So this is what an important feature for an offline mode. Any questions to this, guys? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
Is it clear, everybody?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So I'm proceeding to our next slide. Now this is what an implementation approach with C4C is having. Not only C4C, any cloud application, I mean to say, I'm not only including C4C, I'm including all C4 HANA product. I'm including C4C Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Calendars Cloud, Field Service Management, Gigya. In fact, I am also including S/4HANA on cloud. So any cloud application, when it is going to get implemented, it is following a methodology which is called as an activate methodology. Previously to this, in C4C, it was the methodology was followed as a launch methodology. And when you go for an on-premise implementation, you normally, everybody knows, you follow a SAP methodology. Correct? So in C4C, there's a methodology which is called as an activate methodology, and which is similar to your agile methodology. Now in this methodology, you have 4 phases. One, it is a prepare phase. Second is an explore phase. Then third is a realize phase, and then deploy phase. Now in a prepare phase, it's normally work in all the prepare phase of any methodology, that you need to have a scope understanding, the process understanding. You need to have all those AZs to be studies to be done over there. You need to find a gap over there in prepare phase, and you need to find a pain area of a client. So all these activities to be done in a prepare phase, and then system requirement is also taken care in a prepare phase. That is, whenever you receive a system, how the system setups to be and what are the integration mode would be, everything need to be planned in a prepare phase only. Now after prepare phase, There's a second phase, it is called as an explore phase. Now remember the name explore phase. What does it mean? Sorry. Now in this phase, normally if there is a gap been observed in a prepare phase, to explore the system to find the the issues, to find the solution to cover the gaps. So these are been explored over there. Simultaneously, there's a different validation of a system, validation of a process need to be done over there, and then how the configuration process to be planned, how the system integration to be planned. Everything is mapped over there along with the project plan in a explore phase. Now if I'm talking about a project plan, and there is another word mentioned in the explore phase as a sprint plan. So what does it mean? In all the phases there is a sprint mentioned. So sprint is nothing but we interact with the customer directly with the solution which has been mapped in a realize phase. So what happens? We normally plan a sprint every quarterly in a month. So what was happening? Why the sprint and the activate methodology came into existence? Everybody knows during an implementation, whenever we create a blueprint and we do an implementation, normally during an UAT phase, client comes with a lot of solutions. Okay. Initially, what happened? Client is not aware of a system. They don't know the capability of a system. They don't know the flexibility of a system. How system is flexible to cover their processes. They assume the processes, they define the processes in the blueprint which they are carrying right now, or they want to change the process or upgrade the process which in a system, in a new system. No, but they are not aware how system can work more flexibility. Now what happens during an UAT phase? During an UAT phase, client knows the capability of the system, because during a testing they comes with different scenarios, they come with different aspect of a system, and they come with an they also understand the system capability. Now what happens at that time? Normally in all the projects, client come with a new ideas and new change requests. Okay, client come with the changes, and those changes they refer it as a business critical changes. Now what happens if we need to take those changes, and if it is a business critical, we need to amend it within the time frame, or we can come with a change request with an extended time frame. But what happens? This happens in any projects, and which led to dissatisfaction among the consultant as well as team members. Okay, because every to and fro client do some changes at that phase only. Now to avoid these things, this agile methodology or this activate methodology has existed in this cloud application. So what is happening in this agile activate methodology? Sprint been planned. Okay, so in every 15-day sprint, whatever we are building in the system, and what we are going to build in the next week, coming week, these are the things which we make in a PPT, and we define the system, and we discuss with the client that these are the scenarios which we have gathered in a requirement and which we have built in the system, and this is how we are going to build next in the coming week. So these are being discussed with the client one-to-one during this sprint plan. And if there is any issues with the client, if client wants some changes to be done within this sprint, then we can do immediately without affecting the time frame or a project plan. So this is what an important part in a sprint. So this is what an explore phase. Then comes to a realize phase, which is really a longer period of an implementation. Realize phase normally takes, if it's a very small project, it takes 6 weeks. If it's a big project, it can go beyond 20 weeks. So explore realize phase is a big phase where we do all the configuration and customization activity, and all the development activities along with the testing activities is carried out in a realize phase. There is no separate testing phase. all the testing and development activities is carried out in a realize phase. And also in every quarterly quarter of a project duration, we take a apart from a sprint, we also give a system walkthrough to the customer, that this is what till now we have done in the, we have achieved till now in the system. Okay, we have built this many scenarios till date. So this is what we give a system walkthrough to not only to a super user, also to the management of an organization. And then data migration activities is also taken care in a realize phase. Now the another phase, that is a deploy phase, which is nothing but we also rename, we can also rename it as a go live phase, where we do the production setup for a system along with a cutover activity and an organizational setup. So these are all activities we perform in this deploy phase. So this is how the phases of an activate methodology take care. There is another phase which is not mentioned in the screen. It is also called as a run phase, which is nothing but as a hypercare. So after post go live, we do give a hypercare, that is also known as the run phase in C4C. So this is what an activate methodology all about. Any question to this, guys?
No.
Everybody? Yeah. Yeah, please. Any questions?
No, Bhami.
Clear?
Clear, clear.
Okay. Okay. I'm processing to the next slide. Now, this is what I've captured the functionality or the capability of a system according to the process. Okay, there are a few features which is there in C4C, which has been grouped in a process. So here you can see there's a marketing process mentioned above. There's two type of marketing tool. One, C4C sales, we are having a marketing part, which is very small part. It's not a very extensive marketing as it was in SAP CRM earlier. So here it's a very small piece a marketing. There's another tool for specifically for a marketing. It is, you might be knowing, it is called as an SAP Marketing Cloud. Okay, there you have an extensive feature of a marketing, which is a separate system altogether. So in C4C, exclusively sales and service, you have a marketing feature which covers a target group, which covers a campaign management over there. You have a marketing analytics over there. You have a sentiment analysis. Okay, and you have a customer interactions and in-depth customer interest and provide view. This is what a reporting purpose. So these are the feature which is captured in a marketing process in SAP C4C. Now there is a call center integration as well. There is a CTI application. You have you can integrate CTI with C4C, and CTI may be either an SAP product, that is SAP Contact Center, earlier known as BCM, or you can integrate with any third-party cloud application. Any third-party cloud application may be anything. You might be knowing about one of the third-party application called as Ozone Tail. So it's another big application. You also there are a lot of applications of a cloud which provide a CTI tool. So you can integrate C4C with any CTI application and can carry out the processes which is normally carry on a contact center a calling feature in C4C. So that call center covers a follow-up for a customer feature. You have an inquiry management, inquiry notes, have a lead creation, you have an escalation and assigning to a pre-sales. That is what we can call it as a lead distribution. You have an appointment creation. You have a visit creation, in fact. So there is another feature, very important feature in C4C, which is called as a visit creation. So I'll explain you about a visit functionality, which is a very unique feature and out of the box functionality of C4C. which normally happens in every business, either it may be a sales or service. So this is what a call center application. In call center application, you need to integrate call center, and it's very easy to integrate call center application with C4C. And there is called a click to call feature in C4C. So click to call feature is nothing but a mobile number link will be there. If this feature is activated, a mobile number link will be there in your customer master. Just need to click on the link. When you click on the link of the mobile number, it will automatically trigger a call to a customer. Like you are having that application in a mobile phone. In mobile phone, you are whenever you click on the link of that mobile number, it will route a call. Similarly, it happens to the C4C application as well, when it is integrated with the CTA. So it triggers a call. So this is what another important feature with a sales call center. Now there is a sales executive pre-sales functionality. So in the C4C application, pre-sales functionality been divided into an appointment, lead management, opportunity creation, revenue split, task and survey, follow-up activities. There is an activity advisor. Activity advisor is another feature which guide you to perform the sales activity. As and whenever you require to perform a sales activity, it will guide you automatically. Okay, which is another out of the box feature of C4C. It is called as an activity advisor. Then it's a similar process like sales code and integration with ECC. There's a document flow feature, and there's a analytics feature. And then there's an after sales feature. We have an initiate approval process. We have a sales phase, follow-ups, attachment, task attachment. You can keep a track of a turnaround times. So everything's you can define a process in that way where your after sales functionality can fit into it. Then there's a relationship executive, broker part, or broker, I mean to say it's a channel partner management. It is there in C4C. There is a utility feature also been added in SAP C4C, which you can integrate with IS utilities. Is this slide clear, guys?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So I'm proceeding to the next slide. It's an organization structure feature, which is I think it is, if everybody knows CRM, so it's not different from SAP CRM. It's similar to SAP CRM, but one exclusive feature is you can create a company code in C4C, which was not there in SAP CRM. Okay, you can create your company code, but this company code is not relevant to your finance company code. It is just a tagging. But if you want to integrate it, you can integrate it, but it has no relevance in a financial integration.
Dinesh,
So
one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the SAP Cloud for Customer includes only sales and service, right? For the marketing, we have a separate SAP
Yes.
Cloud. Okay.
See,
So
in
Cloud
cloud,
for Customer only includes sales and service.
sales
Is it
and
correct?
service, and there is a sales marketing feature. Just now I explained to you about that marketing feature, target group, campaign management. Correct?
Yeah,
There's
that is
a
very light. That is
yeah,
very light.
very yeah. So only that much feature is there in C4C sales for a marketing. But if I'm talking exclusively marketing, like you need to have a segmentation. Okay, there's a segmentation feature to define a separate target group on basis of lot of factors. Okay, so if you integrate with the Facebook, and you can create a sentiment analysis over there. So it's a separate exclusive feature of a marketing cloud. And marketing cloud that is mostly famous for a reporting feature. So any
Okay.
reporting structure in marketing cloud is very much you can say very much advanced. Okay, and customer friendly also. So that's the reason
But
marketing cloud is mostly
okay, but that's not a replica of the trade promotion management which is having in the
no. Not
okay.
now, not now. Yeah, but
Oh,
SAP is upgrading it. Okay, it's just an infant stage. Hardly 3 years back, it is this has been launched. Hybrid
okay.
marketing cloud. Okay, so it is very infant. It will gradually come with TPM and loyalty management, a lot of feature what CRM was there. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so it will come gradually, and every quarterly it get upgraded, every cloud application of C4C. So it will also have those features coming.
Okay. Thank you.
So this organization structure, you have same marketing organization, you have a sales organization, you have a service organization as well. You can also bifurcate sales organization into sales offices and group, like in SAP CRM C4C. But here there is one more feature. Whenever you integrate here, there is a two type of integration happens in C4C. One, you can integrate directly with SAP ECC or CRM system, that is organization structure, or you can download that organization structure of backend system. Backend system, I mean to say, this is a CRM and ECC or S4 HANA. Download the template and upload a template. It will automatically create a org structure in C4C. And then you can integrate with various parameters, which I'll explain you during a session. So you can integrate with that, and then you can perform that organization structure addition, or you can say as a sales area in all the transactions. So there is no more explanation over here. Yes, in CRM you can assign multiple employees in multiple sales organization. What I mean to say, one person can be added to multiple sales organization in SAP CRM. There was a flexibility. In C4C, only one employee can be added to one sales organization or sales office or sales group. Same person, which is a primary or a main person, cannot be added to another sales organization. But yes, there is a provision. If you want to add to a same person to another sales organization, there is a provision. But as per as per the process, as per the standard feature, you cannot add same person to the same organization within the same validity period. Another question mark is within the same validity period. Okay, so this is what an important feature of organization structure. Any question to this, guys?
Yeah, one question. You are saying like, the master data. So be it the organization model or be it organization model or, business partner master data. First, that needs to be flowed to the on-premise solution, that's SAP CRM or what? From there only we will take the data.
I told you there is three process. One, you directly integrate with SAP CRM. There is a provision of integrating C4C with SAP CRM. You can integrate with it, but during an integration you require a middleware tool that is called as a CPI. Earlier it was known as an SCI HANA Cloud Integrator. Currently it is known as CPI Cloud Platform Integration. You require this middleware tool. And when you integrate C4C with CRM, you can replicate that sales organization structure to C4C. But to replicate this, you need to have a prerequisite need to be built in C4C. Okay, so then only you can replicate those in C4C. That is one. Secondly, you can download those sales org structure in a migration template which C4C provides. You can download in that template, and then you can upload that template in C4C. That is second feature where you can create org structure in C4C, integrating both. Third, there is another more feature. You can manually create a sales org similar to your CRM or ECC. You can create in C4C, and then you can integrate with an functionality there. It is there in C4C. You can integrate with this, and system will directly replicate, and you can start replication, and it will start replicating that feature. Replicating in the sense it will synchronize that org structure.
Okay.
So this is
Same thing
three
will
ways
apply
you
for
can do that.
ECC also.
Yeah,
Same thing
please.
will apply for ECC also, no? Same thing we can
Yes, yes, yes.
integrate
Same,
with
same,
ECC
same, same,
directly
same,
without
same.
CRM source.
Yes, yes, yes.
But one thing, like, in CRM, we always use the GUID, right, for all the master data setups, all the
Hmm.
database. So always with
Mhm.
the GUID. But in case of ECC, it won't consider GUID because we don't have that concept at all. So how
Correct.
the information will get updated over there? How the backend data?
See, here in C4C, there is no GUID concept. Okay. It is simply on web UI. Okay. Here there is a UI5 functionality, and it is right now it is in a Fury. There is no GUID concept here. Whenever you integrate with this with a backend system, you always there is an IDOC flows. Okay. There is an IDOC concept over here. So simply when there is an integration with a backend system, and IDOC get replicate and it appear in C4C either of the system, either ECC to C4C or vice versa. There is another feature in C4C where you can replicate, that is called as a web service functionality. Okay, where you can directly through a web service you can directly call a backend system functional module, and for this web service is created in ECC only. Okay, so in this way also the integration happens. So the earlier you are having in CRM, that is GUID concept, it is not there in C4C as such. Clear?
Okay.
If you try comparing SAP CRM and C4C, you will get confused. Okay, normally because you expect those activity which is there in CRM to be available in C4C, as because both are SAP product. Correct? This normally happens, comes in mind, but I suggest personally take it as a separate system. Assume this is an SAP product, but it is a separate tool for CRM. Okay, because it, and the secondly it is on cloud, so the applications, the process might be the same, but the applications all are different. Use how you want to use those functionality to synchronize the process is a different than SAP CRM.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this is what main thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm coming to our next slide. This is how the campaign normally taken in a process. It is similar to all the system. If either you take it as a CRM or C4C, it is same. This is how during a launch you do a marketing plan, you do a campaign. Yes, I was talking about the differences of marketing cloud and C4C marketing. There's another difference is here in C4C you cannot put a cost. Okay, that is what marketing plan, you cannot create a marketing plan, you cannot put a cost on basis of campaign, each campaign cost integration, you cannot do this in C4C, which is available in your hybrid marketing cloud. Okay, so this is also another differences of C4C marketing and ECC marketing. Then you have an approval process, you have an email functionality, you have a survey functionality which is out of the box integrated with SAP C4C campaign management. So, and there is a campaign automation feature which is also out of the box, and it is very easy to create a campaign automation in C4C. You can automate your campaign in C4C, you can schedule a campaign automation in C4C, and it's really very easy. If you compare with CRM, it is really very easy and very only logic to be applied to create those automation, nothing else. So which is also another out of the box feature of C4C. There is another functionality called as a satisfaction survey in C4C. Satisfaction survey is any feedback form which is standard, okay, which is out of the box. Any feedback form, if you need to send a customer, you can send it to through an email with a hyperlink. Customer will open that hyperlink, fill the survey, and send it and save it in the system. Those survey result will automatically reflect in C4C. No need of doing any additional integration or nothing. It will automatically replicate in your C4C in a survey results, and you can pull out the report out of that. So this is also another important out of the box feature of C4C. This is what campaign execution. I think it is a self-explanatory. I don't think so. I need to explain on this. Everybody knows. Now coming about the master data, in C4C there are predominantly three master data. Okay, there's one we call it as a configuration data, and master data and transaction data. Configuration data is nothing but is a helping data which helps in configuring the system. You can say as in field objects. There's campaign object, lead, source, sales cycle. So these are all the configuration data. Master data, you are aware of this. In CRM, it is an account, individual customer, contact, products, channel partner. You can add it org structure as well. These are all master data. Coming to a service part, you can add as an install base also as a master data. You see, transaction data, yes, you have a city quotation orders, service ticket. These are all transaction data covered under C4C. Now coming to next slide, this is how C4C screen looks like. Okay, this is what the customer master creation. You have a first name. You can create these many fields. You can create your own field. You can create a validation on the field. You can put a rule on the field when the field need to be visible and when not. And you can put a restriction on the field level information for different business role. So this flexibility is also out of the box functionality of C4C. So you can do these many controlling features in C4C as well. This is a Fury, a client of C4C, which is just released in 1911. Fury was existing till from 1805, most probably 1801. You can say Fury was there. Fury was launched, and C4C was having two landscape, two UI. One, it was an HTML5, and second was a Fury. Earlier HTML5 was used as an administrator use, and Fury was an admin use. So this was, I'm talking about 2018 feature. Prior to that, 2018, there was another two UI of C4C, which was earlier was called as a Microsoft Silverlight, and a second UI was HTML5. So earlier Silverlight was used for an administrator, and then UI5 was used for an end user. Gradually Silverlight got obsolete, and Fury came into an existence, where HTML5 got obsolete into in current release 1911, and Fury took over. So this is how the history of C4C during a launch. So this is how the sales product looks like in C4C. And C4C, there is no transaction that you need to go to table wise or field wise. Every replication or every name, it will all appear in a link. If you want to go within that object, within that product, just click on the link. You will go inside that link, and you will find all those field level information for those particular object. So this is very user friendly, and as per any cloud application, it is also similar to that. But secondly, the application is very fast. Okay, fast as well as secure application. In CRM, you see, whenever you put a transaction, it start buffering first for 1 minute, 30 seconds or 1 minute, and then it opens an application. Here, as soon as you click on the application, it will open a new application. It's very fast, which saves time for an end user. This is how the field need to be created. It's just a screenshot of an C4C tenant, how the field level information. And here you can see it's a custom fields. Most of the fields are custom field, which you can create easily, and you can also do a validation on the custom field. In C4C, it's an experience of mine, 70 to 80% is of functional configuration. You can do all those activity controlling feature or a requirement of a customer. You can reach till 80% of in C4C. Another 20 to 25% is what a development requirement. Okay, if there is an business critical requirement and which is not a standard functionality of C4C, then only you go for a development. Otherwise, most of the companies, most of the features of CRM, or most of the feature what customer require, a customer expectation, is covered in the SAP C4C. This is what a business process. Normally in every CRM, the same business process is a campaign, then a lead, then opportunity, quotation, order. So this is what a business process of a sales normally happens. Quotation you can integrate with ERP solution, ECC on HANA, S4 HANA, or CRM system. You can integrate with those. Then you have a lead, opportunity, quotation feature available. This is what when you integrate with a call center, integrate C4C with a call center. So you have this integration piece available standard, and this is how the process carried out. Guys, it is there is nothing to explain you because everybody knows CRM. Everybody has worked in the project. You know how this process works. It is similar in C4C. I told process is all the process in CRM, in any CRM application. Either you take it civil CRM, you take it Salesforce, you take it any cloud application or any CRM. Process is same, which is there in CRM. Yes, the application differs. How to use that application, how to use that process, how to configure that process, how to do automation with the process differs system to system. So this is what. Now here there's an integration overview. C4C having a standard integration with all those features. You can see here it's standard integrated with Bing Maps, Google News, mashups. So whenever you there's one feature in CRM that is called as a transaction launcher, which is where you can launch a transaction. But in C4C you call it as another feature that is called as a mashup. But in C4C there is an you can say advanced feature of transaction launcher. You have three type of mashup in C4C. You have an URL mashup, you have an HTML mashup, you have an what to say, there's another mashup. I do not remember the name. So there's three type of mashup is there in C4C, which is similar to your transaction launcher but more flexible to launch any transaction or any application through mashup in C4C. You can integrate C4C with ERP, CRM, BW. You can see Lotus Note, and email integration is out of the box, very simple in C4C. When you compare it with email integration and then C4C integration, very easy. CRM and ECC. So this is what an integration overview of C4C. Now talking about reports analytics, you can see these are a few reports of my earlier projects which I fixed it in this slides. So this is how the reports looks like, and these are out of the box. You don't require any BW BI to be integrated to this. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
So any questions? Anybody?
So this is you said that analyticals also there at analytical reporting. So that is something
Yes.
handled internally in the CRM system with the in the cloud itself with our own algorithm which we are build, which we can able to build here, or this is again it will take the data somewhere from the BW integration or some other things.
No. You can directly create in C4C.
C4C.
See,
So
if
whatever the
there is
data
an
is there, the data. Yeah.
yes, you can create a standard. For example, you require some integration with ECC. There are some field level information you want to reflect in the report in C4C, correct? So that can also
Yeah.
be done in C4C.
Okay. So on top of that, online the calculations fees also we can bring here plus
Yes.
minus data like that aggregated data and all.
Aggregated data. But yes, there is a challenge. Like for example, there are 3 to 4 system integrated, correct? And all the reports which normally client want, it is there in BW because uh, it collects the data of all the systems. Okay, so
Yeah.
in that case, you need to have the report in BW. But yes, you can launch that BW reports in C4C. You can see in the
Okay.
C4C updated one, live reports. So that functionality is there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So guys, do you like the demo? Any questions to everybody?
Yes, really nice presentation. Like you gave complete overview, at least high level overview on the how to, you gave like some ice breaking things. Really, it was helpful.
Uh,
Because
okay,
I was
thanks.
aware of this cloud platform. I heard something Kaledas or some other things. Is it something included as part of this SAP or what is that one? You mentioned something Kaledas something.
Calidus is another sales tool. Okay,
Okay,
pre-sales tool you can rather tell. Okay,
okay,
which facilitates further. You can you know about process variant configuration, correct? Product variants.
yeah, yeah,
So on basis of variant of a product, Calidus calculate the pricing on product variant. Okay, so flexibility in calculating those pricing of on different products on basis of different product attributes, and create a quotation in the Calidus. So any complex pricing can be easily done in a Calidus.
So that is already integrated in C4C or it's
Yeah,
still
there is a
separate in the
standard integration. There is a standard
okay.
integration with C4C, but Calidus is a separate tool. Like Marketing
Oh,
Cloud is a separate tool.
okay.
Calidus is a separate tool. Yeah.
So that is something separate license, separate
Yeah,
license from.
it was earlier a Calidus Cloud product, but SAP acquired in 1901 Calidus, and now it is known as SAP Calidus Cloud. Earlier it was a separate product, not under SAP. It was a Calidus tool, but as SAP acquired in 1901, so it comes into SAP Calidus Cloud, and the functionality is mostly it is on cloud application and calculate a variant, sorry, product variant on basis of multiple attributes and complex pricing calculation and creation of quotation.
Okay. So all the attributes of products we can do a drag and drop in the
Exactly, very easy drag and drop. Yes,
okay. So we can simulate the pricing and we can use it for the our cloud purpose. Our
yes.
okay.
You can integrate with C4C. Also, you can integrate Calidus with ECC directly.
Okay. The same thing we can use it for sales order also.
Yes.
So how this take example like we are configuring it's kind of configuration of product, right? So again this product master data again it will get integrated into the EC system with the new ID or how this will be done
No, it's an,
clearly.
same ID will be same. It will integrate with both the system with same ID. See, in C4C, we play with an external ID. External ID in the sense, when we are integrating with backend system, the ID which is generated a backend system will be same in C4C, and which will be tagged as an external ID in C4C. So ID
Okay.
always will be same.
Okay. Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Any other questions? Anybody, guys?
Yeah, really thank you for your kind information and time you spent on this.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it was a very
Thank you,
good
ma'am.
session. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm wrapping up. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot. Yeah. Bye bye.
Okay, ma'am.